I'm Bryony, I'm 21 and I have a phobia of dogs. I've never been bitten by a dog, but it's the dog itself that I'm scared of. The way they look, the way they behave, I just don't like them. A lot of people don't understand that's my phobia and not the dog just biting me. Yeah, he is, oh God. I'm scared of all kinds of dogs, doesn't matter whether it's a small one or a big one. Equally scared of all of them.
Bryony's phobia of dogs affects her on a daily basis because before she leaves the house, she's planning where she's going, she's planning how she can get there.
When I'm panicking about dogs, I just can't get my words out properly. I'm usually a blubbering mess. I just can't think properly.
She's had her fear since she was 4 years old. Her younger brother, Caleb, has become used to her phobia.
For as long as I can remember, I've grown up with Bryony and she's had this phobia. So to me, it's just become an everyday part of life. And as a family, we've just sort of accepted it and dealt with it accordingly.
I find it difficult walking down this path here because the corner's blocked by all the trees and you can't see what's ahead of you. And quite a lot of dog walkers take their dogs down this path, and not knowing what's ahead of you makes me quite nervous and anxious because I then can't avoid a dog if I know there's going to be one up there. There's no other way to walk. If I'm on my own and I'm faced with a dog, I usually have to ring Caleb or ring my mum to come and pick me up in the car, or Caleb will come and meet me and walk me back home or to the train station till there's no dogs and I'm feeling comfortable again.
I can tell that you're nervous now, the way that you're speaking and you're looking at all the directions of the paths to make sure that there's no dogs coming.
Yeah, I am really nervous right now. I don't know what to say. I just don't know how to explain it or describe it.
Don't want to alarm you, but there is a
I
dog
know.
on the field and it is off its lead.
Oh yeah, he is heading in this direction.
So how do you feel now?
Not good.
So you want to leave, don't you?
Yeah.
Because they're not on leads. So if you had to stay here any longer, how do you think you're going to feel?
I don't know. I want to go now. Yeah, he is. Oh God. I'm really struggling.
And I know that the dogs are helping.
No, he is coming this way.
You're on leads now.
The local train station is just 5 minutes walk away. But every day, her mum must take her in the car to avoid Bryony coming into contact with dogs.
When I see a dog on the way to work, it just makes me feel sick and nervous.
And this is where it gets quite tricky because the route to the metro station's just down there.
All of the time I'm thinking, where is the next dog going to be and how can I avoid it?
Some mornings we have to wait here until the dog walkers have passed because Bryony can't get from the car here up to those stairs.
It is upsetting because that is, at the end of the day, your sister and you want to help. There's just unconditional love between family members and you want help, you want to stop that distress, but it's uncomforting for myself to know that I can't even do something.
It's really hard for me to imagine what Bryony's life is like with this fear, because it makes me feel worse that I can't fix something for my child.
I think it would feel like a massive weight has been lifted if I didn't have this phobia, because it's such a burden to have. And I've tried other ways of getting rid of the phobia before and they've not worked. So I really, really want it to change.
The family have come to Speakman Hall to see if nik&eva can help.
Welcome, hello, you must be Bryony.
It's Stacey.
Pleased to meet
Hi.
you.
You
And
too.
hello, Stacey.
Right.
Hello.
Hi. Good to
Come
meet
on
you.
in.
Come on in.
Thank you for coming to see us, Bryony and Stacey. Bryony, can you tell us why are you here today?
Well, I have a really bad phobia of dogs. I can't go places on my own without worrying about where the next dog is going to be. I'm always thinking about how to avoid them and what to do if the dog's going to come anywhere near me.
When did this start?
I think it started when I was around about 4, but I don't really remember much about it.
So why do you think it started when you were 4?
I think I had a night terror when I was about 4 years old, and I was screaming that there was dogs on my back and that...
Right, you keep saying, I think.
Yeah.
Why, do you not remember?
No.
So how do you know then?
My mum's told me.
So what's your recollection about it then, Mum?
She went through a small phase of having night terrors, and the first one, she came out of her bedroom screaming, but asleep with her eyes wide open and running around in circles trying to get dogs off her. She was pulling at her back and saying, get them off me, get them off me. And she had absolutely no recollection the next day whatsoever.
So when you said she was throwing things off her back, how did you know it were dogs?
To be honest with you now, I can't remember what she said to me, but I do remember that she told me it was dogs. But it was such a long time.
During the terror or afterwards?
It must have been during, because she couldn't remember the next day.
OK.
OK, and when you do see a dog, what kind of reaction do you have?
I start to feel really sick and nervous and sort of get a bit sweaty and sort of breathing starts to get a bit faster and just sort of panic quite a lot.
So you have a panic attack?
Yeah.
And when's your first panic attack that you recall?
I can't really remember the first one.
So what does it stop you doing then?
There's certain places I can't go, like I can't go to some of my friends' houses because I know they've got a dog. I'll avoid specific places like the beach because I know there'll be a load of dogs there.
Stacey, what has this fear done to Bryony's personality?
I see Bryony kind of wilting, and I can see that she's uncomfortable, that she has to ask me to take her to the metro station. And I know she feels guilty as well, that she relies on myself and sometimes her brother to get her out of a sticky situation.
Obviously today is about being very open and being very honest. It's the only way that Bryony will change, by understanding every component of what this is doing. I would really appreciate if you could speak to Bryony and tell her, as her mum who's brought her into this world to live a life, what this is doing to you.
It makes me feel helpless, that I can't make things right for you and that I can see you in such a distressed state, and then I can see you not being the person you want to be and not fulfilling your true potential. It breaks my heart, really does.
What's that like, hearing that from your mum, Bryony?
It's really quite upsetting because I shouldn't have to rely on her like that. I should be independent and be able to go and do things on my own, but I can't.
Will you tell your mum what it's like? Because I know your mum has her observations, but tell your mum what it's like to live with it every day.
It's really quite embarrassing because when I do have a panic attack, I know I act quite childish, and getting upset and just wanting to run away from the dog I know is the worst thing you can do, but it's the first thing I think of, is to get away from the dog.
I know.
I know it's not just you living with this fear of dogs. Your mum is too, and obviously we know that you have a brother who actually would like to invite in and get his thoughts on how this affects him and both of you.
I don't think there's a day that goes by where Bryony isn't thinking about a phobia and dogs.
Thanks for joining us, Caleb. Would you please tell Bryony, as the sort of the third party in this situation, how you see this affecting the family?
Well, it's a big problem because we don't don't always do what normal families do. We're giving up so much time to help you and do things to go out of our way to help you, and it is affecting us. Or just giving up the time to be there ready for when you're coming back from work or when you want to go out. If you want to go out for the, you know, a night out with your friends, but I've got to walk you to the train station, I've got to give up whatever I'm doing for that.
So hearing that, Bryony, how does that make you feel?
I feel like he shouldn't be needing to do that. He should be out with his friends, doing what he wants to do, not having to help me.
Can I ask you, when was the last time you had a frank discussion like this about this problem, or have you ever?
I don't think we really have.
We've never really discussed it, you know. It's because well, I've certainly grown up with it. I've grown up with it, and it's just been there with me from when I was little. It's become our normal, and
Well,
it
can
shouldn't
I
have
thank
done.
you all then?
Yeah,
Because
thank you for...
part of your honesty with Bryony and making her understand just how negatively this impacts you is going to help her today. And I do understand that you don't talk about it as a family, and that's exactly what I expected you to say because you're protecting her and you love her. But that love is being expressed today by your honesty, and I really appreciate that.
So you ready for change?
Yeah.
Well, Stacey and Caleb, if you'd leave Bryony with us, and hopefully, when you see her again, she'll be a different girl.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope so.
It's really quite sad because you've got 3 people all immensely affected by one phobia. Everybody's adapted their lives. Everybody's too frightened to say anything because they don't want to cause any upset. And, you know, I really do think that if we can get Bryony over this today, we're actually setting 3 people free.
Bryony has been controlled by her dog phobia for most of her life.
When I see a dog, I start to panic, tense up, always looking for where the next dog may be coming from.
Being outside can be a terrifying experience. Can nik&eva take away her fear?
If there was a dog just at the side of me right now, but you couldn't quite see it, but it was here, and I was going to bring it out, on a fear scale, 10 being I'm absolutely terrified and 0 being bring it out, I'm not bothered, where would he be?
About a 9.
About a 9.
What is it that you fear?
Everything about dogs.
Everything about dogs, but what's the main thing?
Just like the way they look, the way they move, the sounds they make.
Are you able to look at photographs of dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's good, because I've got some photographs of dogs here. And I'd like you to tell me, with each photograph, what you dislike about that dog. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So what's the problem there?
I just see 2 dogs that I don't like the look of.
Because?
They're what I'm scared of.
So, what's really interesting with you, Bryony, is that I'm looking at you, looking at these pictures, and you don't look scared. And I know, from all the dog phobias that we've worked with, if I showed these to someone with a dog phobia,
Yeah.
they'd run off. Your reaction is not what I would expect. And I'm not saying that you've not got a dog phobia, because I believe that you have, and I know that
Yeah.
it's ruining your life. But what I'm seeing is that you've got a phobia and you've got a fear, but ultimately you've blamed dogs, but these never started the fear.
Yeah.
You see, and that sort of ties in really with the fact that you had a nightmare, and we all have nightmares. Children have nightmares. Our children have had nightmares. And the day after, we've never mentioned anything about it. We've not said, oh, you had a really bad nightmare last night.
Yeah.
Because as a child, the child would then say, well, what about, what it? Oh, you were talking about dogs. You're scared of dogs.
Jumping on your back.
They were jumping on your back and you're throwing them off. So if this started when you were told at the age of 4 by your mum that you had this night terror, essentially, this is why, as a 21-year-old girl, so this is you as a 21-year-old girl, this is you as a 4-year-old child, when you set this up, when you see a dog, you act like a 4-year-old child. And as a 21-year-old woman, you're saying, I don't want to act like this, I don't want to feel like this, but the 4-year-old child is saying, but you told me to protect you. And that's why you have this battle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why it feels, because you actually use those words, it's just, I behave like a child, it's like out of control.
So, what we would like you to do today, Bryony, is grow up. And I'd like to ask you a question. As a 21-year-old adult, is there anything to fear from that?
No. No. No.
So that's the right answer. But what I want you to do inside is truly believe it. You've never had any real experience with animals, have you?
No.
At all. And you said that the dogs, what was it in particular that you were frightened of with the dog, by the way?
Everything about them. Just didn't want them anywhere near me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You realise you're speaking past tense now?
Yeah.
If you speak about something in past tense, what does it mean?
It's in the past.
That's right. It's over.
You didn't do that consciously, you just said it. You didn't think about it. And if you were trying, then what you'd do is you'd think about what you're about to say and make the effort to put it in the past tense, but you said it without thinking.
Let me ask you the same question again. If I had a dog behind my chair here, on a fear scale of 0 to 10, what's your fear for me letting this dog out?
1. Or should I have said 0?
No, whatever is real.
Well, do you know what? The fact that you said a 1 out of 10 just tells me that you're totally over this, the fear's gone, but that is apprehension because you've never been close to a dog without having bad feelings. So even though you don't feel frightened anymore, you're unsure because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The big test, obviously, has got to be you meeting a dog.
Yeah.
I bet you never thought you'd say that, did
No,
you?
I didn't.
Well done. Let's go. At this moment, Bryony doesn't understand dogs. She's unsure of how to react, and she's learning. The more dogs she encounters, the more positive experience she gets.
Nick and Eva said they've got a lovely surprise for me, and I'm a little bit nervous about that, but excited at the same time.
Bryony has never had any interaction with a dog. Bryony has never even played with a dog, looked at a dog, watched a dog play, because quite frankly, she's been terrified of it. Obviously, now it's down to proof.
Waiting for Bryony is the UK's most famous dog, Pudsey, winner of Britain's Got Talent, along with his owner, Ashley.
Good. Cross. Chris. Great, come. Back.
But will Bryony actually be able to meet him?
I would normally feel quite sick and anxious, quite nauseous, if I was to be in front of a dog.
Hello.
Hello?
Good boy. Come on in. Good boy. Hi.
Hello.
Good boy. Are you good? You can say hello. Puds, sit. You can wave. 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 Good boy. Clever boy. Well done.
He's such an amazing boy. He really
Good
is.
boy.
So I believe you're going to show us some of the magic that you
Yes,
guys do.
Puds.
Very exciting.
Come on then. We're going to do some stuff. Ready, Puds? Good. Right, come. Both. Good. Back. Good. Close. Good. Leg. 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 Good boy. Good. Forwards walk. Forwards walk. Good. Well done. Good. Back on.
Would it be okay if we came over and gave Pudsey a little stroke?
Yeah, I can pick him up. Ready, Puds? Up. Good boy. Clever lad.
But he must have really strong power in his back legs to be able to jump like that.
Good boy. Good boy.
Bryony's family have no idea whether Nick and Eva's treatment has been successful.
Hello.
Do you have any idea who this is and who your daughter's stroking right now?
Seeing Bryony with the dog was really overwhelming.
Do you think you'd ever see that?
No. I can't believe
Are
it.
you proud of that?
Very. And I'm so, so grateful to you too. You can't imagine.
To see her right next to a dog, stroking a dog, was incredible. and I became very overwhelmed and tearful.
I didn't think it was possible, but you've proven that, you know, fears can be taken away.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd see it. I was the best I was hoping for, that she would just be able to walk down the street without having a panic.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you for
to both
having
you,
us.
Ashley and Pudsey. We really appreciate it.
It's fine. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bryony's dog phobia has been a millstone around the family's necks. It's been a real worry to Stacey. She's not been able to go out without panicking if the phone rings. Caleb has been on guard, ready to go and rescue his sister should she see a dog. So this hasn't just set Bryony free, this has set the entire family free.
I think it means everything to my mum to see Bryony finally treated, and I don't know what she'll be thinking, but I know it can only be good.
I think I got so emotional because it's been such a huge success in such a short space of time.
It'll be such a relief not to be thinking about dogs all day, every day, as it feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders.